Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching The Bridge on the River Kwai by David Lean. Although I haven't watched any films from this director before, I know that he was very famous. I know him as the director of Lawrence of Arabia, another classic. If you want me to review that on the channel, please leave it in the comments below. About The Bridge on the River Kwai, although I don't know anything about who's starring in it or anything about the plot itself, I do know that it's considered a classic. As a matter of fact, I've actually visited the bridge, or at least the location, a couple of years ago when I was backpacking through Thailand with a couple of friends. It's in the Kanchanaburi province, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if my pronunciation is wrong. I meant to watch the movie after coming back from my vacation, but I completely forgot. I do remember taking a small tour and learning about how prisoners of war, they were used as forced labor to build the bridge and most of the railway. If I recall correctly, the locals called it the Death Bridge, which is awful. I should really document my travels more because I barely remember anything. At least I have pictures though. I have to look for them. Anyways, I'm really excited to see this movie, review it, and to understand why it's still considered a classic 65 years after its release. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 180 movies, 2 TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. The Bridge on the River Kwai, Lean. Let's go. William Holden. Hey, I know William Holden. I think I've seen him in Network, which I reviewed on the channel. Alec Guinness. I've heard of that name before, but I don't believe I've seen any film from him. The Bridge on the River Kwai. And it's in Technicolor, okay. Technicolor has a very unique palette. I don't know whether it's a true story or not, but it at least is inspired by true events, if I'm not mistaken. And I can already tell the production budget for this movie is pretty high, considering it's made in 1956, where most films were made in studios and small sets. Wow. That's a pretty elaborate set, if you ask me.
You no sick? You never sick. Why you always play sick to me, Shan?
How about a butt?
A butt? I don't know what a butt is, but cigarettes have butts.
Okay, you go on the sick list. Him too.
Was that a bribe?
One of these days, Colonel Saito's gonna catch you bribing him.
Oh,
Then where'll we be?
Before that happens, we'll be far away from here, chum.
they plan to escape. And this scene also shows that there are British and American POWs.
He found little enough of it while he was alive.
Look at the detail in that frame with the people walking in the background. There's so much depth. Looks like the POWs have pretty high morale. Oh man, they don't look in good shape, for lack of a better word. That must be the Japanese commanding officer we just saw.
My name's Nicholson.
Nicholson.
I am Colonel Saito.
Oh, that box was for him to stand on. That's messed up. I thought it was some sort of offering or something.
If you work hard, you will be treated well. But if you do not work hard, you will be punished. Let me remind you,
Be happy in your work.
be happy in your work.
Oh, okay.
Dismiss!
Forced labor. Be happy. Like direct contradictions.
The use of officers for manual labor is expressly forbidden by the Geneva Convention.
It's illegal? Wow. I'm saying wow because I don't know whether it's artificial rain or not in this scene.
The U.S. Navy out here.
For a deep-water sailor, I am sort of landlocked.
Actually, I raised that very point with Colonel, what's his name?
Saito.
Saito.
Yes, I must say he seems quite a reasonable type.
We barely know him.
I can think of a lot of things to call Saito. But reasonable.
There you go.
That's a new one. The odds against survival in this camp are even worse. You've seen the graveyard.
In Singapore, we were ordered to surrender by command headquarters. Ordered, mind you.
Escaping would be going against the law?
Our men must always feel they are still commanded by us and not by the Japanese.
As for me, I'm just a slave. A living slave.
You will finish the bridge by the 12th day of May. This is only just. For it is they who betrayed you by surrender.
Victim blaming.
Collect your tools.
Back in your place.
He's being defiant?
To Article 27 of the Geneva Convention.
The Geneva Convention again.
You see, the code specifically states that the... Diverse in the ranks! My officers will not do manual labor.
All enlisted prisoners to work!
They won't listen to him. Oh no, that's like a death sentence, right?
Looks like he doesn't want any witnesses.
He doesn't want any witnesses? Does he intend to kill them right here, right now? Oh man, that's a machine gun.
He's going to do it. Believe me, he's really going to do it.
I believe you. You've been here for a long time, my man.
Is this your soldier's code? Murdering unarmed men?
Oh, that will bring shame to him and his command. So he's using shame against him, which is brilliant. Oh, they're being punished by being left out in the sun.
There's certain advantages to being on the sick list.
The horrors of war. The director Lean, he's doing a fantastic job in setting up this story, but I don't know which direction it's going. Like, is it a story about defiance? Also might be just the realities and harshness of war.
They're gonna put him in the oven.
The punishment hut. Oh, that looks horrible. Oh man, that looks horrible. An escape attempt, was it? I think so. I mean, there is nowhere to escape. I mean, he was shot, I think. 3 bodies. So I assume they didn't get him. And he's alive! Wow, look at the enormous size of this set. They're actually building the bridge.
I knew nothing about the escape.
This shows the position. Work should have reached by noon today.
They're not even 50% there.
My officers will direct them.
As he pointed out, it's against the rules.
The Geneva Conventions.
This is war. This is not a game of cricket.
I have to admit, Saito, the actor, he's doing a fantastic job. What a great actor.
Go and speak to him.
I have to look him up.
Jennings is dead. Killed attempting to escape. Also 2 others with him, Corporal Weaver and the American.
Oh, I just had a word with Saito. That man's the worst commanding officer I've ever come across.
You did call him reasonable earlier. Do you still feel the same?
It's still blackmail. If we give in now, there'll be no end to it. No.
You give a mouse some cheese, it'll eventually come for milk.
Did you say that American chap was killed?
Yes, sir. Shot and drowned. Colonel Nicholson won't give in to force. It's a question of principle. Are they both mad?
Exactly. They're both too stubborn. Oh. Was that a kite? Looks like he may have stumbled onto some local village.
I shall be in personal command. Today, we rest.
I mean, the production end of this movie is just so impressive. Holy crap, they actually built all this. I mean, it's not super impressive in the 21st century, but from 1956, holy crap. Oh no, that's bad news. Holy crap. Oh, it's so messed up.
English corned beef.
Oh, thank you.
Haha.
My orders are to complete the bridge by the 12th day of May. When I said all officers must work, naturally I never meant you, the commanding officer.
There is the compromise.
Officers below.
None of my officers will do manual labor.
Please, if the bridge is not ready in time,
I haven't the foggiest.
I'll have to kill myself.
Cheers.
So Saito has to end his own life if he doesn't succeed in his mission.
I'm sure we can arrive at a proper solution. Please sit down.
Oh, please sit down.
Proved my point.
I hate the British.
I love this scene. I mean, I slowly am starting to understand Saito's side of the story. He's ordered to finish this bridge by May 12th, or he has to kill himself, so he's trying to use all available resources. Oh, wow, okay. Looks like Shears recovered. The man can barely walk.
You and your officers may return to your quarters. It will not be necessary for officers to do manual labor.
Holy crap, he's relenting. He's giving in. Their morale has come back. Again, I think this is a famous piece of music. The score has been excellent.
Hughes, if this were your bridge, how would you use the men?
Well, sir, not the way they're doing it.
We'll show them what the British soldier is capable of doing.
Yes,
Interesting.
I see your point, sir.
I'm sorry to tell you that we feel the position of the bridge was fixed rather hastily and, I have to add, incorrectly.
One question. Can you finish the bridge in time?
After all, we mustn't forget that we've wasted over a month through an unfortunate disagreement, for which I was not to blame.
Ouch.
Good morning. I'm looking for an American named Commander Shears.
Oh, yes.
Shears ended up here.
When all I need is luck.
It's true. All you really need is love.
Looks like he's having quite the time.
You could help us in a rather special sense.
Are they going to try and convince him to go back?
If your sea rescue plane hadn't spotted me, I wouldn't be here.
That's how he got here.
Our chief problem is lack of first-hand knowledge.
I knew it.
How would you feel about going back?
That's a hard no.
Yes, your navies turned you over to us.
Oh, the American Navy transferred him over to the British?
No, the whole thing's a fake. I'm just an ordinary swab jockey second class.
Oh my goodness, he's not a real commander?
Let it ride along for a while.
That's criminal,
There were
right?
certain definite advantages.
Yes, I saw one of them on the beach. But at the same time, they can't very well bring you home and give you the Navy Cross for impersonating us.
Oh man, he's stuck.
As long as I'm hooked, I might as well volunteer.
Good show.
It's not like you have a choice, Shears.
He's just volunteered to go back and help me blow up the Kwai Bridge.
Really? Sir, are you convinced that building this bridge is a good idea?
I also understand the doubt that his men has.
If you had to operate on Saito, would you do your best or would you let him die?
Oh, the doctor's code.
One day the war will be over. I hope that the people who use this bridge in years to come will remember how it was built and who built it.
Yeah, legacy.
Are you quite sure you'll be able to use it in cold blood?
That's a question I've often asked myself, sir. It's worried me quite a bit.
At least he's honest. What a shot. And holy crap, are these done practically?
We'll have to swing north through heavy jungle.
Who's going to lead the way?
Yai himself.
Oh wow, wildlife. But can you imagine the production nightmare shooting in the jungle, an actual jungle, back in 1956 without modern technology?
You're lovely.
Leeches.
Well, leeches aren't deadly. And the work is progressing real fast.
Now look here, men. For those of you who feel up to it, how about lending the others a hand, eh? Fetch and carry, a spot of paint here and there. What do you say?
Saito. He's not happy with the progress. That's a Japanese soldier if I've ever seen one. There's no talking, there's nothing, just shoot on sight.
Make sure they're all dead.
Oh no! Come on. One of them escaped, they're going to bring news to Saito. I forget this young kid's name, but I'm pretty sure he's about to be tested. Or else why would the director add a character like this? Oh man, another young kid. That was not easy to watch.
Could have done it. I was ready.
Probably a picture of his mom. I have to commend the director for showing that picture of his mom, the Japanese soldiers. Oh, it looks bad. Another beautiful shot. There he is.
I didn't give orders for a halt. We all need it. You're in command now, Shears.
I'm not gonna leave you here to die, Warden. If we go on together.
Let's get closer.
Oh, wow! This bridge was designed and constructed by the soldiers of the British Army. Nicholson, he's so proud of his men's accomplishment here.
Lovely.
Nothing else would matter.
I bet this is the calm before the storm. Like, something will go down at the end, obviously. Yep, they're rigging the explosives.
It's a pity you won't be here to see the first practical use of the bridge we have built. You have survived with honor.
That much is true.
That and more.
Powerful words from Nicholson. Oh no! If the river's gone down, they can see the wires and the explosives. I don't think they have the time to wait for the train. Can't believe they actually built this entire bridge for the movie. Wow.
Don't wait for the train.
Yep, don't wait.
Now.
We can hear the train. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I thought it'd be the Japanese who noticed the explosive. It's actually Colonel Nicholson. Things have gotten so tense in the last minute or so. It's tragic, but Joyce, you have to blow it up now.
He's leading them right to it. Our own man.
Decision time, Joyce. What a climax, holy crap. Oh, he actually went for it.
British Commando orders, sir. Blow up the bridge. Yes, sir. Look out, there's no time. No! Help! Kill him! Let me go, sir. You don't understand, sir.
His pride is not allowing him. Nicholson's pride is not allowing him to blow up the bridge. How messed up is that? Oh! Joyce is shot. Oh no. Oh no.
What have I done?
I mean, yeah, what have I done? I think he's finally coming to the realization. In the matter of 2 minutes, everybody just died. Oh man. Number one, the bridge blew up by Nicholson's last act. Number two, holy crap! What an explosion and destruction.
I had to do it. They might have been captured alive.
Finally, from a production end, this is one of the most amazing things I've seen from an older film.
Madness.
Madness. Oh, does the film end here? And the film starts and ends with the same shot of these birds. No wonder it's a classic. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for voting for this film, guys. Wow. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, The Bridge on the River Kwai was a great film. Definitely a classic. While the story had elements of defiance, shame, perseverance, bravery, pride, and the horrors of war, and mental and physical fortitude, what really impressed me the most was the sheer size of the production, especially for a film made in the mid-1950s. Whereas other filmmakers preferred to shoot in closed sets, David Lean proudly made this film on location with a huge budget, I'm assuming. And the end result is spectacular. It's so spectacular that it still holds up to today. And that's a testament to practical filmmaking and not cheating using Hollywood techniques. Apart from the production and the Performances from William Holden, Alec Guinness, and the rest of the cast were amazing. The score and the sound design, they were stellar. The cinematography was so good, and the actual storytelling, although I felt was a little slow, it was deliberate and carried a lot of weight. It was so intentional. Let's start with the script by Carl Foreman and Michael Wilson and the directing by David Lean. I looked it up a little after finishing the movie, and it looks like it was based on a book of the same name, and it's a fictional story inspired by reality and not like true events, which is fine. I don't know how well it was adapted for screen, but I enjoyed every minute of the film. The actual story didn't have too many twists and turns, but in a film like this, it doesn't really need to deceive the audience in the traditional sense, as the subject matter is serious enough, if that makes any sense. The story is ultimately about building a bridge on the River Kwai by using POWs from mostly the British Army. There is also a subplot of the American commander, Shears, who makes a successful escape before returning almost involuntarily to help blow up the bridge. One thing I really liked about the writer and director is the fact that the Japanese were not shown to be outright one-dimensional villains here. Colonel Saito was definitely unreasonable, but I wouldn't go as far as to say he was a crazy man. He had the mission of constructing this bridge before the 12th of May, or he kind of had to end his life, so I don't see a real choice for the man. It brings a lot of shame for his culture, and back in the day, shame was a huge motivating factor for Japanese army, or even like normal people, I guess. The most interesting and most complex character of the entire film had to be that of Colonel Nicholson, played excellently by Alec Guinness. He was a man of principle, and he never even for a second compromised them. I mean, even at the point of death, he was being tortured, being left out in the sun in that punishment box. But nope, he did not compromise. There was definitely a theme of pride in his character, and even though his men were prisoners, he really tried his best to raise their morale and represent the British Army to the best of his abilities, to a point where he actually competently built a bridge for the enemy to help the Axis powers. He didn't even see it. And the moment he said, "What have I done?" he came to that realization, holy crap, was that moment worth the wait. I really do see his point, and also the point of his medical officer. I think his name was Clifton. I saw his point too. If they had to do the job, they didn't have to do it perfectly. Anyways, the subplot of the movie had the Commander Shears, the American, involuntarily come back on a mission to blow up the bridge. His character was also excellently written and expertly portrayed by William Holden. I would argue that his character was pretty complex too, as all he wanted was to get away from the horrors of war as fast as possible. But by the end, he did oversee blowing up the bridge, and he did end up giving his life for it, just like the junior officer Joyce and Colonel Nicholson, the man himself. It was by his own hands, his body, that the bridge finally blows up. The film at times was hard to watch, especially the prisoners of war. Although there weren't any large-scale battles in the movie, and at times it did feel a little slow. It did remind us that war isn't about the big battles, but how heavy a toll it takes on the psychology of ordinary soldiers and officers. Even from both sides, you could tell the stress that the Japanese Colonel Saito was under. Finally, the last 15 minutes of the film, they were just riveting to watch. The bridge, which was built by the blood and tears of the POWs and some Japanese officers too, it was spectacularly blown up at the end. This was an incredible scene, and we have to talk about the production side of things. The production end, for lack of a better word, it was amazing. It had to be some of the best I've ever seen from a film this old. I cannot begin to praise the director and the team here for the scale of things that were shown. The sets were meticulously designed. The costumes, they looked worn out and real. The extras, they had malnutrition on them. And they even looked tired. Even little things like in the background of unimportant scenes, they were not one-dimensional scenes. They were layered. They were filled to the brim with detail that I'm sure I'll get rewarded if I rewatch this film. A special shout out goes to the actual bridge itself. They really made that for the movie before blowing it up with a real crane on it. That was no miniature. I can tell miniatures apart. That was not a miniature they blew up at the end. So good. It must have been a bittersweet day on set. They had to blow it up. I don't think they get too many takes when you're actually blowing up something of that size. And the fact that they chose real locations over close sets really seals the deal here. Incredible work from the production team. The cinematography, score, and sound design of the movie were some of the highest caliber too, from the gorgeous landscape shots to the more intimate moments when soldiers or officers were talking indoors or even in jungles. They were framed immaculately. The camera work in the jungle, they were impressive, especially the tracking shots done without modern stabilization, by the way. The Technicolor bringing everything to life, holy crap, it was great. The score sounded majestic and oddly familiar. The tune that the soldiers were whistling, it sounded familiar, and the sound design was also very well done with the noises of the forest and the explosion at the end. Great, amazing stuff. I don't have any outright criticisms of this film at all. It might be slow to some, but not for me. It's just an observation I made, the slow pace. It was a near masterpiece. Overall, The Bridge on the River Kwai was indeed a timeless classic. It was almost perfect in every aspect. Words cannot describe how well made this film was from a production standpoint. Putting that aside, the movie was expertly written and directed with amazing performances from William Holden, Alec Guinness, and the rest of the cast. This is a film, I guess at times it's hard to watch, but it is necessary to learn about war, about pride, shame, determination, psychology of soldiers, the bravery, and doing the right thing against all the odds. I would highly, highly recommend this film for everyone. It is a must watch. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.